Here we are at the Beijing International Airport. Samoan Prime Minister Fiame Naomi Mataafa and her delegation have arrived here. The Prime Minister is paying an official visit to China from November 20 to 28 at the invitation of Chinese Premier Li Qiang. At the airport, a welcoming ceremony was held for the friends from the Pacific Island country. Although Beijing saw mild rain and snow today, the warmth of the friendship could be felt from the greetings and smiles from both sides. Beijing is the last stop of her 8-day visit. The Prime Minister is expected to have meetings with top Chinese leaders and have in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and important issues of mutual interest. Naomi Mataafa has visited China multiple times, but this is her first official visit to China as Prime Minister. She arrived in Shanghai last Wednesday. Then she traveled to Jiangsu province in eastern China and Guangdong province in southern China. She visited different places to promote bilateral exchanges in education, agriculture and fishery, as well as environmental protection. Well, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said last week that next year will mark the 50th anniversary of China-Samoa diplomatic relations, which sees new opportunities for growth. And many believe that Prime Minister's visit to China will give the fresh impetus to the ties. Zheng Yibing, CGTN, Beijing.
Assistant Minister of Foreign Ministry of China. Warmest welcome, Prime Minister.
Thank you.
Welcome to Beijing. I hope we enjoy the visit to other cities in China.
Very much.
Very much.
Welcome to Beijing.
What is required for small countries around the world that are interested in exploring the possibility of having such a smart system in place for smart cities?
If the size of the country is small, it may take less time to do digital twins and support government decision-making, and it may be easier to build smart cities.
From Samoa's point of view, we're very impressed, particularly with the transformation over the last 40 years. And I think with the pace and the progress of the transformation, Samoa has a lot to learn from the way that this province has transformed itself.
Today, we mainly introduced the situation of marine ranches in Guangdong province to the Samoan delegation. In particular, we provided a preliminary introduction to the fish farming project jointly led by 1C Marine Ranch and our company in Huizhou City.
We do have coastal fisheries, but we do not have these varieties and species of fish, and we want to expand into other varieties, so we look for opportunities to have more other species of fish in our country to supply protein for our diets.
I had the privilege of visiting with the former Prime Minister here in 2018 to see the exchange in programs. And it's a great opportunity for our students to come and exchange ideas, knowledge, and skills on how to enhance their academic skills and also getting new knowledge.
What is required for small countries around the world that are interested in exploring the possibility of having such a smart system in place, or smart cities?
国家的面积不大的话，
If the size of the country is small, it may take less time to do digital twins and support government decision making, and it may be easier to build smart cities.
From Samoa's point of view, we're very impressed, particularly with the transformation over the last 40 years. And I think with the pace and the progress of the transformation, Samoa has a lot to learn from the way that this province has transformed itself.
A warm welcome to Samoan Prime Minister Fiame in the city of Nanjing. The delegation toured an agricultural research center in Jiangsu. The visit builds on the establishment of the China Pacific Island Countries Agricultural Cooperation Demonstration Center here last year. As a Pacific Island nation, Samoa's economy relies heavily on agriculture and fisheries. Since the establishment of this cooperation center, the collaboration in agriculture between the two countries has grown significantly. And these display boards they are viewing right now showcases the achievement of this partnership, such as the creation of joint laboratories and technical support programs aimed at boosting local farmers' productivity. Discussions touched on plans to expand collaboration for the country's economic development.
Agriculture is one of our priority sectors back home for development. And we see a similarity within the provinces that we have visited in China. And we are learning a lot from what we have seen. And also sharing the experiences with the officials here and the experts here, and taking it back with us to help us, develop our agricultural skills.
Over the past year, the institution has sent multiple delegations to Pacific Island nations, including Samoa, to advance the agricultural technology cooperation projects. The visit of Samoa's Prime Minister today highlights the strengthening of this bond.
In Samoa, we conducted research on their vegetable cultivation and livestock farming. During our discussion with the Prime Minister just now, she showed great interest in these areas, which will also be a key focus for our next phase of cooperation.
Sampling the fresh produce, the visitors experienced not only the flavors of innovation, but also gained fresh inspiration.
In Samoa, we have lots of tomatoes, but not this species, so maybe we should take some, yeah?
We are not used to this kind of scale of greenhouses, and that's it's actually quite eye-opening.
With new opportunities being explored, this visit marks another step in strengthening ties between China and Samoa. 黄一畅 CGTN 南京江苏 Province.
The first stop of Samoan Prime Minister's visit to Guangdong Province is the Fiame Mangrove National Nature Reserve in Shenzhen, as mangrove forests are crucial to marine wildlife and the habitat of coastal residents in both countries.
Samoa is one of 18 countries that have signed an established agreement for an international mangrove center in Shenzhen. The historic agreement signed on November 6, 2024 was made possible through years of cooperation between the two governments.
Today, we primarily briefed the status of mangrove conservation in China, focusing on the establishment of the International Mangrove Center in Shenzhen. Notably, we highlighted the contributions made by Samoa, which has significantly aided our international mangrove conservation efforts.
During a visit to a smart city exhibition center, the Samoan delegation showed a keen interest in Shenzhen's digital management practices.
What is required for small countries around the world that are interested in exploring the possibility of having such a smart system in place, or smart cities?
If the size of the country is small, it may take less time to do digital twins and support government decision-making, and it may be easier to build smart cities.
After touring an exhibition hall showcasing Shenzhen's reform and opening up achievements, the delegation was deeply impressed by the city's transformation from a small fishing village to a metropolis.
From Samoa's point of view, we're very impressed, particularly with the transformation over the last 40 years. And I think with the pace and the progress of the transformation, Samoa has a lot to learn from the way that this province has transformed itself.
The Samoan finance minister highlighted that Shenzhen's remarkable transformation in economic development and technology, especially in the fields of renewable energy and digital transformation, serve as a model for Samoa. 徐花 CGTN 深圳广东 Province。
Welcome, Prime Minister. Welcome to Jiangyan City. This is Mrs. San. She's the Secretary of Party Committee of Jiangyan District. My name is Raymond. For the batteries suppliers in terms of the shipment volume, especially in telecom communication and also big data centers. So these kind of two sectors of the farmers and those people who are making the country from the 3 years to a summertime
像我们交付我们生产中80%。当时贵国的农业部长参加了这个
Very good. Our parents are much bigger. Yes. And also the biggest.
It's goose eggs, and this one is duck eggs. You can take a shot.
China and Samoa established diplomatic relations in November 6, 1975, and the relationship has gone from strength to strength. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations, ties between the two countries have developed smoothly. In 2014, the two sides established a strategic partnership of mutual respect and common development. 4 years later, the bilateral relations upgraded to a comprehensive strategic partnership of mutual respect and common development. Since 1982, China has provided Samoa with government scholarships every year. China also offers a variety of short-term training and seminars for Samoan young people or officials from both the private and public sectors. In March 2020, the first Samoan language and culture course was delivered to students at the Beijing Foreign Studies University. After the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, China provided several batches of anti-epidemic supplies to Samoa. Moreover, China aided projects including the Faleolo International Airport and Stadium for the 2019 Pacific Games have become local landmarks. And the Cultural Center, which opened at the end of 2022, has injected a new impetus into bilateral exchanges. In 2023, the bilateral trade volume between China and Samoa reached $121 million, an increase of 1.4% year-on-year.
A warm welcome for Samoan Prime Minister Fiame in the city of Nanjing. The delegation toured an agricultural research center in Jiangsu. The visit builds on the establishment of the China Pacific Island countries Agricultural Cooperation Demonstration Center here last year. As a Pacific Island nation, Samoa's economy relies heavily on agriculture and fisheries. Since the establishment of this cooperation center, the collaboration in agriculture between the two countries has grown significantly. And these display boards they are viewing right now showcases the achievement of this partnership, such as the creation of joint laboratories and technical support programs aimed at boosting local farmers' productivity. Discussions touched on plans to expand collaboration for the country's economic development.
Agriculture is one of our priority sectors back home for our development. And we see a similarity within the provinces that we have visited in China. And we are learning a lot from what we have seen. And also sharing the experiences with the officials here and the experts here, and taking it back with us to help us, develop our agricultural skills.
Over the past year, the institution has sent multiple delegations to Pacific Island nations, including Samoa, to advance the agricultural technology cooperation projects. The visit of Samoa's Prime Minister today highlights the strengthening of these bonds.
In Samoa, we conducted research on their vegetable cultivation and livestock farming. During our discussion with the Prime Minister just now, she showed great interest in these areas, which will also be a key focus for our next phase of cooperation.
Sampling the fresh produce, the visitors experienced not only the flavors of innovation, but also gained fresh inspiration.
In Samoa, we have lots of tomatoes, but not this species, so maybe we should take some, yeah?
We are not used to this kind of scale of greenhouses and that, so it's actually quite eye-opening.
With new opportunities being explored, this visit marks another step in strengthening ties between China and Samoa. Huang Yingchang, CGTN, Nanjing, Jiangsu Province.
Today, we mainly introduced the situation of marine ranches in Guangdong Province to the Samoan delegation. In particular, we provided a preliminary introduction to the fish farming project jointly led by Wangxi Marine Ranch and our company in Huizhou City.
We do have coastal fisheries, but we do not have these varieties and species of fish, and we want to expand into other varieties, so we look for opportunities to have more other species of fish in our country to supply protein for our diets.
had the privilege of visiting with the former Prime Minister here in 2018 to see the exchange in programs. And it's a great opportunity for our students to come and exchange ideas, knowledge, and skills on how to enhance their academic skills and also getting new knowledge.
The first stop of Samoan Prime Minister's visit to Guangdong Province is the Fiame Mangrove National Nature Reserve in Shenzhen, as mangrove forests are crucial to marine wildlife and habitat of coastal residents in both countries.
Samoa is one of 18 countries that have signed an established agreement for an international mangrove center in Shenzhen. The historic agreement signed on November 6, 2024 was made possible through years of cooperation between the two governments.
Today, we primarily briefed the status of mangrove conservation in China, focusing on the establishment of the International Mangrove Center in Shenzhen. Notably, we highlighted the contributions made by Samoa, which has significantly aided our international mangrove conservation efforts.
During a visit to a smart city exhibition center, the Samoan delegation showed a keen interest in Shenzhen's digital management practices.
What is required for small countries around the world that are interested in exploring the possibility of having such a smart system for smart cities?
国家的面积不大的话，
If the size of the country is small, it may take less time to do digital twins and support government decision-making, and it may be easier to build smart cities.
After touring an exhibition hall showcasing Shenzhen's reform and opening up achievements, the delegation was deeply impressed by the city's transformation from a small fishing village to a metropolis.
From Samoa's point of view, we're very impressed, particularly with the transformation over the last 40 years. And I think with the pace and the progress of the transformation, Samoa has a lot to learn from the way that this province has transformed itself.
The Samoan finance minister highlighted that Shenzhen's remarkable transformation in economic development and technology, especially in the fields of renewable energy and digital transformation, serve as a model for Samoa. 徐花 CGTN 深圳广东 Province。
Let's Visiting 8 cities in 9 days, she said China's development and achievements are remarkable.
It seems very modern, right, in terms of aspiration, abilities, and what has been able to be achieved.
She praised China's approach to handling international issues.
It says this is our problem, collective problem, right? And China is putting forward these initiatives that would assist those in addressing those challenges, creating opportunities.
And she's extremely confident about the future of China-Samoa relations.
Mutual respect and trust. I think that's a very fundamental element that makes for a successful partnership.
Samoan Prime Minister Fiame Naomi Mataafa sat down for an exclusive interview with Leaders Talk. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Leaders Talk, where we meet leaders, thinkers, and trailblazers among Beijing. Greetings, everyone. Now, when you think about the state of Samoa, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the first rays of sunlight that greet the world? Or Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, that puts Samoa on the map? Today's guest hails from this Pacific island state, Samoa's Prime Minister, Madam Fiame Naomi Mataafa. This is her first visit to China since becoming Prime Minister. During her 9-day trip across 8 cities, what impressions has her time in China left on her? And what are her hopes for the future of China-Samoa cooperation? Here's my conversation with the Prime Minister of Samoa. Okay, Madam Prime Minister, welcome to Beijing, China. This is your 6th visit to China, but this is an extraordinary one. You visited 8 cities in 9 days. What are your main takeaways from what you saw here in China?
Very informative. I think the program, although lengthy, has been very constructive for us in terms of informing us of China's progress, following up on some of the projects that we have collaborated with China over many years, especially down south, Guangdong.
Yeah.
Many of the early Chinese settlers in Samoa, coming over 1900s, were from that area. So we have those people-to-people anchored relationships. We feel that we're at a place that we know more because of our Chinese community in Samoa. In Nanjing, then there was another element, in terms of your country's history. And like all countries, we have periods in our history that are significant. But I think on this trip, I think my last one was probably 4 years ago now, perhaps 5. What is notable always with China?
Yeah, what changed?
Yeah, is the pace at which it changes. My main takeaway, as a leader with a sort of a broad overview, is that internationally there are 2 key platforms for development. Energy being one of them, especially the renewable energy. And secondly is the whole digital and information technologies. These are the transformative platforms of which many countries now are premising their development. It's the new way of work. So everyone's very much on board. But you see in China how much more they're doing, how much faster they are responding. From a government perspective, what I'm really appreciating is the reform approach, being always mindful, given the information flow of what government needs to do, how it can respond. But what strikes me is a mindset of wanting to be right on top of that information and reconfiguring how government works to more efficiently and appropriately respond to the needs, whether they be internal or external. So that has been one of my major takeaways.
During her 9-day visit from November 20 to 28, Samoan Prime Minister Fiame Naomi Mataafa traveled to 8 cities across China, from Taizhou in Jiangsu Province to Shenzhen and Huizhou in Guangdong Province, and finally to Beijing. In Taizhou, she toured the Taizhou Polytechnic College as well as green energy enterprises, gaining insights into China's vocational education development and technological advancements in renewables. In Shenzhen, she went to the Futian Mangrove Nature Reserve to learn about conservation, ecological protection, and environmental awareness. In Huizhou, she explored a marine aquaculture base where she learned about artificial breeding techniques for species like large yellow croaker and Chinese bahaba. She also visited Hualuogong Middle School for an immersive experience into aspects of Chinese cultural heritage. Noting China's rapid development and accomplishments, Prime Minister Fiame expressed Samoa's interest in learning from China's modernization efforts, particularly in poverty alleviation and green development.
Was there a particular moment or an episode of interaction that you had with students, farmers, or technicians there that really strikes you?
We were taken to a centralized data center, right, where the information is coming in to better advise the administrations on how to respond. You've mentioned the students. You know, once again, it's a level of investment. What I noticed was a very broad scope of learning, not just academia, but also cultural elements, value elements. I mean, it's good to see. On one side, it seems very modern, right, in terms of aspiration, abilities, and what has been able to be achieved. But on the other side, too, being very careful, you know, to preserve principles and values of Chinese culture.
You visited the middle school in Guangdong, if I'm correct,
Yes.
whereby you showcased your Chinese calligraphy skills.
Yes.
Quite remarkable, Madam Prime Minister. The calligraphy that you crafted, the Zhong character, was really well done. Congratulations.
Oh, really?
I think so. We think so.
Calligraphy is a particular art, right? And throughout the ages, your people have written in that way. It almost requires a very artistic mindset to be able to do the calligraphy. But it's such art if you just look at it.
Yeah, not easy. You also went to a mangrove nature reserve in one of the locations in Guangdong, whereby you remarked that China truly made efforts in protecting the ecosystems there. You fell for it because in your home country, you made a top priority to protect the mangrove trees in your country. What kind of synergy do you see formulating between our two countries when it comes to ecological preservation?
What I saw was a much more advanced, right, progress in the management of mangroves. It has to do with resources, of course. But what I particularly enjoyed, and I don't think we have paid as much attention in terms of our mangrove work, is providing the environment for the other animals, the birds, you know, the fishes, and so forth. We're more still at the point where we just want to ensure that we don't lose the mangrove. But the further development that has been done at that center, really it's become a refuge or a place where, you know, the animal life can thrive. We see a bit of it in Samoa, but it's not being done intentionally. We just try and ensure that we don't lose the mangrove in the first instance. But I think our planning needs to be a lot more extended about the ecosystems that is supported by our mangroves. I mean, that's a huge project. You know, it's a great demonstration of what can be done with our mangroves and the benefits that it derives.
Madam Prime Minister, I want to talk more generally about our bilateral relations. We know that Samoa was among the first country in the region to recognize People's Republic of China and establish diplomatic relations. And next year, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of our diplomatic relations. How do you reflect on this journey? What keywords would you use to characterize the current state of our bilateral relationship?
Mutual respect and trust. I think that's a very fundamental element that makes for a successful partnership. And 50 years is not a short period of time. I think at this juncture, especially speaking with your leaders, it's an apt time to review our journey, to consolidate on what has been done well, and also to, what are the next steps in terms of what has been able to be achieved. The disparity of size. China is such a large country, and, Samoa is a smaller country. So the ideas and concepts, and I always say this as a person from a small country, internationally everything is about big things, right? When it comes to development funding, climate funding or so forth, usually the talk is it's too small, right? Your projects are too small. So we keep on saying, well, why aren't we developing models, that suit smaller countries? And I think this is a continuing dialogue we have with our partners, because we've had this long time with our partnership with China. We can really explore and further the potentials of what's already been done, like agriculture. So a lot of the work has been research-based. Now I think we need to be moving on to creating value-added, business-based activities. So, it's another development along that association. You do the learning, the piloting, but how do you sustainably carry it forward? It's being able to develop, mutual, whether it's business interests or trading development.
You've just had a summit with President Xi Jinping in Beijing. Are there any episodes, discussions, conversations that you're particularly excited about that you can share with us?
Your government has outlined 3 global initiatives. What I like about the approach that China takes is that it looks at the issue. It says, this is our problem, collective problem, right? And China is putting forward, these initiatives that would assist those in addressing those challenges, creating opportunities. I like the approach. It's not sort of like we're going to do this for you, but China says these are our problems. They provide the opportunities for countries to take up. And I think that particular approach is a responsible approach. It's about thinking about the greater good, and it's for everyone. I mean, it is part of China's foreign policy.
Yeah, those are considered the organizing principles of the Chinese foreign policy.
Yes.
The Chinese doctrine, or President Xi's doctrine, the 3 initiatives that you just referred to.
These are initiatives that can help assist us reach resolutions to those problems. It's a very practical and responsible approach to global issues.
Each day, there are millions of stories. Each one can open new perspectives, new possibilities. Wherever you look, we are there to see, discover, explore. We put the pieces together to find what really matters to you, all around the world, all around the clock. Our reporters are at home across the globe. From our headquarters in Beijing and production centers in Washington, Nairobi, and London. Stories from across the globe, reaching people across the globe. CGTN. See the difference.
I see a country on the move.
There is my opportunity.
Is it good to change so fast?
Yes, but it's a challenge.
We have one foot in the future.
But we never forget our past.
We need to talk to one another.
And listen.
More than 1 billion voices telling their stories. Rediscovering China, only on CGTN.
We are all connected. Across borders, across continents, connected by ideas, a shared humanity. Stay connected.
Samoa, located in the South Pacific, comprises the western part of the Samoan Islands, including the main islands of Upolu and Savaii, along with 8 smaller islands. On November 6, 1975, Samoa became one of the first Pacific Island nations to establish diplomatic relations with China. It was also among the earliest to sign a Memorandum of Understanding under the Belt and Road Initiative. Today, one can see the embodiment of China-Samoa partnership all across the country. From Faleolo International Airport to the Samoan government building, from the International Convention Center to the nation's largest sports complex, and from the China-Samoa Friendship Park, Cultural Arts Center to Apia Park, each landmark a testament to the strength of the bilateral bond.
Agriculture is another area where the two countries work very closely with each other. We have set up joint projects and joint ventures, from demonstration farms to pilot zones to training programs. Good examples include Samoa-China Agricultural Technical Aid Project, as well as the Piggery and Feed Farmers Training Program. You've been to some of these programs yourself. How do you see these collaborations benefiting communities and farmers in Samoa?
Well, food security, right, first and foremost, is high priority for any country. So these projects that you've alluded to does first and foremost meet those needs. But also as a productive sector, it is another economic pillar for the country. One of the latest developments that your government is assisting with is to bring in heavy machinery, because our land is volcanic, so it's quite rocky. So to clear, large areas of land, we do need to have more heavy agricultural machinery. So, the thinking is evolving of how we practice agriculture in different ways, but appropriate to, the land that is available to us. But I think in terms of increasing trade, value adding to agricultural produce, one of the cities down south were interested in breadfruit.
Grapefruit.
Breadfruit. Now, breadfruit doesn't travel very well, so the best way is perhaps frozen or made into flour. For the flour, it's gluten-free, so it has that element of need, and many people now need gluten-free produce. With, I think, the assistance of research and practice, that is another product, that can be value added and enhanced and increase our, trading to a market like China.
I want to talk about climate change. Prime Minister Fiame, that is a very important issue. Few countries in this world feel the urgency to step up our fight against climate change as much as your country does. Samoa, help us understand the urgency of this fight for your people and your communities.
Yes. Well, we always talk collectively in the Pacific. Samoa, as an island country, is probably not as pressured as some of our lower-lying atoll countries. So when we talk from the Pacific, not only because we're smaller, we can't move from one side of the country to another if it's affected by climate change because of the smallness. So it's a very immediate thing. It's not something that's far off. So it's loss of land, possibility of loss of sovereignty. How does that place people in terms of, what country are they from? Yeah. Can they still live there? Is there going to be mandatory relocation? How does that happen? These are all the ramifications of climate change, for small island states. So, the Pacific has been very strong in voicing this on the global fora, bringing to the attention of country. Samoa, we are currently the chair for AOSIS, so we continuously carry that message, not only for the Pacific, but all SIDS.
I want to shift gears a little bit, Prime Minister, and talk about your society in Samoa. Some 25% of people claim Chinese ancestry and Chinese heritage. And how do you see these community, people of Chinese heritage, contributing to forming and shaping Samoa to what it is today, and also in bonding and helping China-Samoa relations to grow and to prosper?
Yes, well, they're very assimilated. I mean, they are, for all intents and purposes, Samoans. They hold Matai titles, chiefly titles. Yeah. They engage in their communities in the traditional sense. They are, of course, business leaders and have made the contribution you allude to our economic growth.
Samoa is often described as the paradise of the South Pacific, known for its white sand beaches and vibrant cultures. How would you introduce your country to potential visitors, especially those Chinese who are watching this program? Why should they go to Samoa?
There's still a lot of natural beauty in Samoa. The landscape, the sea, but more importantly too, a very strong and vibrant culture. These days, with franchises and so forth, places are beginning to look the same. We offer a destination where if people travel to us, they know they're going to a different place. It's a place, not only, the physical aspects of it, but cultural, spiritual elements to it. From my own point of view, when I visit a country, I'm really interested in, how the values of the country, their cultural practices, how people interact, because it's all done differently. And I think that's one of the points about visiting other places.
Madam Prime Minister, thank you so much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed your 9-day trip.
I have, extremely. It's been such an informative visit. We've been very warmly and generously hosted. And I think we've had some very honest sharing, about development.
Very good. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Prime Minister. Now, during the interview, I was thoroughly impressed by the candor of the Samoan leader, especially when she talked about the fact that we're collectively fighting climate change and we should not point fingers at one another. And also, she said she's not a big fan of the concept of creating an Indo-Pacific strategy because it sounded as if smaller states like hers, Samoa, are automatically signing up for something they're not willing to be part of. Now, thank you for watching this episode of The Leaders Talk. I'm Meng Guan in Beijing. I'll see you again next time.
Offer Gianna.
Okay, which team is it?
Gianna, introduce yourself. Bahasa Ambon.
Iya, Lili. Awalnya ayat tahu.
Jadi nggak ada ingat.
Iya, halo. Halo. Oh. What's your name? Beati. Oh, good name.
Our college offers other majors such as computer programming and also like intelligent manufacturing. Because of the pandemic, we're not going to visit this site, but we can later give you a detailed introduction by our secretary.
春夏四个季节的主题，做了4个主题。这边有梅花吗？然后两边的绘画呢，是我们中国的根据24个节气做的主题的绘画。
On the other side of our wall is also a Chinese traditional painting exhibition.
Island nation's modern economy relies heavily on agriculture in the futures. Since the establishment of this cooperation center, the collaboration in agriculture between these countries has grown significantly. And this display board they are viewing right now showcases the achievement of this partnership. This is a big
And we also have different varieties of grapes. Some are for fresh eating, some are for and also some are for vegetables and
我们的甘薯现在也是淀粉加工的蒸煮和烧烤。
And we have also developed sweet potatoes for multiple purposes. Some are for statues, and some for baking, and some are for leaves vegetables.
我们还加工成这种面条形的东西。
Also processed sweet potatoes.
Very good.
Very important for our government to be associated with China, particularly when it comes to agriculture. Agriculture is one of our priority sectors back home for our development. And we see a similarity within the provinces that we have visited in China. And so we are very interested to see how China has gone about, particularly these provinces, has gone about developing agriculture as a priority sector to their development. So we are learning. It's a study tour, and we are learning a lot from what we have seen. And also sharing the experiences with the officials here and the experts here, and taking it back with us to help us, develop our agricultural skills.
How does this gonna align with the country's economic development?
Like I said, agriculture is a major development sector for Samoa. It's always been a major sector for development in Samoa. So it's the backbone of our development right from the start and still is. We're also looking at other avenues in adding value to our agricultural products. So we're looking at value-added products, agricultural products. And that's another reason why we're here. We're seeing a lot of value-added agricultural products and how China has gone about adding value to those primary agricultural products, which is it contributes to the economy.
Sign my name. What's the name?
November 23rd. Would you like to write some words for this?
Tell me the name.
they are finished